So what's going on, family? Sitting outside waiting on my kids' basketball game to get over with. What's going on with our kids nowadays, man? All this shooting. Bunch of punk motherfuckers, man. All this damn shooting. Don't nobody square up no more. Everybody want to shoot. 9 times out of 10, it's probably over some he say, she say. Or just straight up just jealous anyway. One little cute nigga got all the girls saying his name. Little hating dirty nigga with a gun want to take his life. It's sad. What's real sad is that the culture of it, all the shooting, glorifying the clothes and material stuff and drug use and all that stuff. Sad part is we feeding it to them. You know, you have musicians and stuff out there and people on TV. Oh, you the one gotta raise your kids and stuff and this and that, you know. Well, ain't nobody shedding no light on positive black people doing stuff no more. You know, you don't see that on TV no more. You don't hear it in the music no more. You gotta search for it, like search for it. There ain't hardly too many mainstream musicians out there. I mean, for our genre of music, hip hop is ours, man. That's ours. You know? No disrespect to any musician or nothing out there, Migos or anybody else, Future, any of these cats out there, man. But everybody talking about drug use. Lil Wayne drinking lean, and everybody drinking lean, scissor, popping pills, and it's crazy, you know. All the stuff that we listen to, as I'm not a millennial. I was born in the 70s. You know, my older brother, he was out in the streets way before me. He told me, like, man, that shit ain't real. These niggas ain't living like that. I grew up and I seen it. Niggas ain't living like, ain't nobody, these musicians ain't living like that. Dr. Dre said it on one of his little inserts on the soundtrack. Like, man, this is our jobs. You know? And shoot, we feeding this stuff to our kids, man, and they putting it back out. You know, it's cool. We sit around and be playing music or have family over, or we be at a party or wherever we take our kids, wherever we hang around. You know, most people hang around their people. So if we listening to our music, we hearing drug use, we hearing the glorifying of material objects. All the stuff that's poisoning our community, we listening to it. You know, and we feeding it to them. You know, and it ain't even so much of them hearing it that's destroying them. It's the response that us as parents is giving the music, and then them seeing that response. They see the activity, the dancing, and oh, that's my shit, and mommy jumping up and twerking and bouncing that butt, and daddy, yeah, that's some real shit. And they listening to all that and seeing all that, and we saying it's real, and it ain't. But we popping off. They see it. They take it in. A few years down the line, they living it out. And we wonder, like, damn, where our kids go wrong? What happened? What happened is the examples that we set off of what we was hearing. We got to have those talks with our kids. We got to tell them, like, hey, they telling, yeah, the shit sound fun. Pop some mollies or do a couple pills, the shit. Look at the opioid epidemic, man. Cats is out here dying left and right trying to get high, man. They out here dying. People say it ain't no different than the crack era and stuff. It's a different era of drug use, but this era of drug use right here, it's dying. They dying. They out here dying, man. The niggas was smoking crack for years, 20, 30. Man, I still know niggas that was smoking crack. They're smoking crack right now that was smoking when I was like 10 years old. I'm 44 years old. These niggas out here, I'm still smoking crack. Man, these cats out here that been doing these opioids and stuff is dropping off. And it's affecting the white people heavily. That's why they want to do something about it. Man, crack and all these other drugs and stuff been in the black communities for years and stuff, and they didn't give a damn about it. They didn't give a damn about the death rate, the incarceration rate, the dropout rate, the rate that black on black violence and gun crimes and none of that stuff was about. But when it start happening to white people and white people start doing it, now they need some type of intervention. And this ain't nothing. It ain't nothing but karma. This is how, a lot of people say, oh, you a conspiracy theorist and this and that. But this is how all the shit through white supremacy is reversing on itself. We had certain stuff to happen. It's all different. I mean, you can say I'm crazy if you want to, shit with like Eminem, Don't get me wrong, that cat got skills on the mic flowing and everything. But when he came into, I'm gonna even say inserted, when he got inserted in the hip hop, he got out there and he did good. He blew up. He's still killing it. All right, he's still killing the game. I ain't gonna say like he ain't done a lot lately, but he killing the game and stuff. But the stuff that he came in, talking about popping all these pills and doing all, man, come on, just keep it all the way real. Like Gucci Mane said, what niggas rolling around bumping Eminem in their car? Ain't no niggas rolling around bumping Eminem in their car. Yeah, your nigga might, the white nigga might make a nice song or something that niggas like, oh, that's hot, man. Listen to that, because they wanted to catch the lyricism, They're like, damn, that nigga was kicking some shit. Oh, he killed that. Yeah, on a hip hop level when it comes to the lyricism, but niggas ain't riding around bumping Eminem unless he got a feature that got a cold ass beat. Ain't nobody riding around listening to Eminem, just flat out. I don't give a fuck who he is, unless he from an area where he live around a bunch of white boys and shit, and that's what they listen to. Flat out. No disrespect to anybody, but like I was saying though, I feel like, with him in hip hop, the shit that he was kicking, him and I think they was called B12. Blue and yellow, purple pills, and all that shit. That's all they was talking about was drug use. With niggas like, pills? I ain't doing no motherfucking pills, Like, shit, I ain't popping up. Man, fuck these things. I'm smoking some weed. We still bumping Dr. Dre, the Chronic, man. We on that vibe, man. Fuck all them goddamn pills and shit, man. We always knew pills was addictive. We always knew that they was cocaine or opioid derivatives and shit like that, But then, that right there, guess who bumping Eminem? The little white kids. The white kids is bumping Eminem. Bumping him hard. Taking in all that shit. Just like we was taking in all that bullshit that these daggone so-called street artists and gangster rappers and shit was kicking and changed our mentality when it came to each other. He out there bumping that shit, man. That shit turned around on their ass in less than 10 years, man. Eminem start glorifying the drug use. Guess what happened? Opioids is on the rise. These motherfuckers, man, you had cats out here making a killing off a couple prescription bottles of Oxycontin. You talk about a fiend that'll kill your ass. These fucking opioid fiends will kill your ass. You better quit playing with them. You can't play them like no fucking, like a crackhead. A crackhead to get out here and run up and down the street butt naked. A fucking opioid fiend will slice your fucking throat. Straight up. They need that shit. They'll die if they don't have it. Anyhow, well, like I said, you know, we suffering from the mentality, destruction mentality with each other. Still, they suffering with the drug mentality, and the destruction mentality is coming. White on white crime is rising, and whether you know it or not, you know. But all that shit, white on white, black on black shit, that's all a way of taking the focus off of just crime itself. They try and make it seem like it's isolated to a certain group. It ain't isolated to a certain group. It's called proximity. Shit, the motherfuckers you around is the motherfuckers that you gonna do crimes to. You know, your cousin in your house, your thieving ass cousin in your house, he gonna steal something from you. If he in his grandma's house, he gonna steal something from his grandma, cousin, wherever. That's who he gonna steal from. You know, all the shit that gets done to people gets done in proximity. You give a whole bunch of bullshit to black people, guess what they gonna do? They gonna go out there and they gonna sell it to black people. You do the same thing with white people, they gonna do it to white people unless they taught differently, unless they taught not to. See, they caught them on that shit and they wasn't, pardon me, you know, they wasn't aware that that shit was gonna hit their ass like that by hitting their children. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought with that little belch. But yeah, man, you know, it's sad that our negative reactions that we think is just fun, you know, when it comes to music and I mean even drinking, man, even though it's legal, and I ain't even glorifying smoking weed, that's something that you should do in private. And you tell your kids like, yeah, you know, I smoke a little weed or whatever, and I personally don't. I got a good job, you know, so I can't smoke weed, you know. I mean, massa throw me out the plantation. But but nah, I drink a little bit every now and then. Shit, if I could smoke weed, I would. Shit, I'll hit a blunt every now and then. Shit, but it just ain't worth my job. I got a job where I make good money and I'm grateful, you know. All praise to the Most High. And like I said, it's one of those things that we watching the karma unfold. You know, they trying to throw out distractions and shit with racial divide and, you know, and having white people going against black people going against black people, you know. Every time you turn around, niggas is all extra sensitive about something, trying to make it racial, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, some stuff is racial, you know, but I mean, because what it come down to, these fucking, they ain't gonna change their stripes. So I mean, you dealing with the offspring of these racist ass ancestors, they racist ancestors, you know. It seems like it's tapering off, but shoot, like, I mean, give credit to Donald Trump, man. He didn't do nothing but just show that they ain't gone nowhere. They basically, all the shit that been taught, you know, he fired it up. And I ain't saying every white person is racist, because they not. Every white person is not racist. Every black person is not racist. Or some people say black people can't be racist. I disagree to some degree. You know, they say racism is power based, and I know what they talking about, and I do agree to some degree, you know. But what about if you on a little league football team, man, you got a little white kid out there that might be a ball carrier than one of your black kids, but you don't give it to him because the little black boy's mama look good and got a fat booty, always out there on the sidelines, you know. You want to give it to him. Is it because of the fat booty, or is it because it's a little white boy? Either way it go, the little boy is white and he a better ball carrier, you know. And you ain't give him a shot, you know. I'm out to win, shit. It's me, the little white boy, gonna carry the ball. He gonna take us to the house, shit. You know, I'm in it for the love of the game, not for trying to let a person get the props or the accolades because it's a little dark skinned, light skinned boy or whatever. Shoot, you on our team. But I went off on some other shit right there. But like I was saying, man, I'm just watching a lot of this stuff unfold out here in the streets, man. The stuff that police is doing to people. And trust and believe, man, they not just doing it to black people. Man, I done seen these white folks and stuff get some of these white folks out here. Man, the police is out here and they is not taking shit from nobody. But the thing is, still, we can't talk to the police the way white people do, because a lot of times I believe that some of the police out there is already trained that, oh, well, you got to go out there and you got to handle black people a certain type of way. You got to do this and you got to do that. You don't let them do nothing. Now, I believe that they actually even trained that sudden moves by us is that we going for a gun, you know, because the same shit that we do to each other, they believe it's going to be done to them, you know. They think that black folks is a bunch of trigger happy niggas that's waiting to pull out a gun, you know, and all that type of shit. But the fact is, you know, it's an isolated, I ain't say isolated group of people. It's a few people. Some of these kids out here, they carrying guns just because it's trendy, you know. Some of these kids ain't gonna bust a daggone clay pigeon out the sky, man. But they don't know that. But at the same time, the police is killing unarmed black men, you know. So that right there tell you. But you know, back what I was saying about the crime rates and shit like that. You know, you had Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. That wasn't nothing but just to make niggas shut up about Black Lives Matter. You know, All Lives Matter is some other. All lives don't matter if Black lives don't matter. You can't even say it, you know. So, but the Blue Lives Matter shit, that was just some type of way to justify police killings, trying to make it seem like they out there trying to do their job, but they scared or whatever. But when it come down to it, when we look at the statistics on the national scale, 96.5% of all police officers that are killed by an assailant are killed by a white man. It's a white man carrying it out. It ain't a black man, it's a white man. 96%. You know, but somehow they fear and trembling is upon us. And nah, that's an excuse. These cats is out here, they go through all different kind of trainings and shit. And a black man can have his hand on the steering wheel and they got a Glock to his head talking about they making them nervous. How the fuck you gonna make you nervous? You got the gun to his hand is on the steering wheel. You that nervous, won't you just cuff him up and go through his pockets and run a 50 on him or whatever, you know? And see, sometimes I honestly believe that it's just like some racist cops and stuff, man, that just, that's what they want to do, is get behind a badge just so they can take and abuse their power in that way. Like, it's one of them things, like maybe in their little cults or their little orders or whatever it is that they doing the shit, man, they get some type of stripes and stuff, man, when they get out here and commit these crimes and stuff against people. I mean, these is crimes against humanity, man. That shit don't, I mean, it's that's cowardice. You know, man, they for real, they know people ain't out here like that, you know. I mean, really to hurt nobody. You know, they know black people ain't out here. Black people are the least violent and least likely to assault a police officer, to shoot a police officer, to use any kind of force against a police officer statistically. I mean, and around the world, you know? I mean, and that shit is, I mean, if you ask me, I believe it done been embedded in our DNA to not resist. So, all that shit, you know, I mean, I'm just mumble jumbling. You know, my name is Big Ed. You know, I'm just kicking some mumbo jumbo just to, you know, shoot the breeze while I'm out here waiting on my kids to get up out of their basketball practice. And then, shit, I'm going to go home and lay it down and give praise to the Most High, you know, for blessing me with a beautiful family, you know. And that's another thing, too. I'm gonna talk about, on my next video, I'm gonna talk about God and different beliefs, you know. I don't have a serious in-depth knowledge, you know. I was in church for years. I studied the Bible for some years. I had some cats trying to teach me the Quran. You know, I read quite a few books, Dr. John Henrik Clark, you know, and some other stuff, you know, Bear Shango. I mean, I read a few different books and stuff. I know some things, you know, but when it comes down to it, you know, I believe that a concept in God is necessary for the black man. Some people may disagree, you know. I feel that way, you know, but I'm not gonna get off into the God topic, you know. But that's what I'm gonna talk about next, you know. But man, peace, love, and happiness, you know, to all my brothers and sisters, to all my white brothers and sisters out there, you know. It's no hate, all love, you know, but in order for me to get my point across, I gotta express myself, you know. If it's something I feel is racist and unfair, I'm gonna say it, you know. If you have an opinion, you can speak it. I mean, I'm a person that is always willing to hear another person's take on whatever's being said, you know. I mean, and anything it is, we can always talk about it, you know. But once again, my name is Big Ed. I'm about to end this video. Peace.